Hi guys, welcome back to Crazy Book Lady. My name is Floor and today I am going to show you which books I read during the summer. I decided to combine my July and August wrap up in one video because otherwise my July wrap up would be really late, and yeah, it's also fun to look back at all of the books I read during the summer. So let's get into it. The first book I read was The Maze Runner by James Dashner. I am sure you already know about this series, I guess. If not, it's a series that takes place in a maze, and Thomas, who gets there, wants to figure out how to get out of it, or at least that what happens in the first book. And yeah, I really liked it. It was the first time I read this book. I got into dystopian books thanks to Mary Lou, so I thought it was time to finally read The Maze Runner. I really loved it. I gave it 5 stars, so I need to continue the series as soon as possible. Then I read The Magic Finger by Roald Dahl, and that's a middle grade book, a really short middle grade book, and I think it's the second book of Roald Dahl that I've read. Not sure. But anyway, it was kind of fun. It's about a girl whose neighbors are shooting off the ducks, and she's like, "You can't do that." So she waves with her magic finger, and then stuff happens. So yeah, a really fun short read, and I gave it 3 stars. Then a book that is originally written in Dutch, but it's translated to English as well, and that is The House of the Mosque by Kader Abdullah. In Dutch it is Het Huis van de Moskee. And this is about a family that is seeing the changes of how everything is going in Iran. And basically, it's a political based book, and it was a bit tough to go through it, but I really enjoyed it. It was so informative, and yeah, although I struggled a bit towards the end, I gave it 3 stars because I thought it was really interesting. So yeah, I definitely learned some more of Iran, and um, yeah, in a fictional but informative way. So I really could recommend this book if you are interested in the politics in another country. Also, I read this for the Read the Middle East readathon, so yeah. Then I read Sisterhood Everlasting by Anne Brashares. I never know how to pronounce her name. Anyway, it's the last series in the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. And yeah, I finally did it. I saw this book on sale in a bookstore that was closing, so I decided to buy it because I knew I would like it, but I absolutely adored it. It was such a good ending for a series that I really love, and yeah, I really love it. This takes place 10 years after the fourth book, and yeah, all the characters are grown up now. They all want their own way and stuff, and they want to get back together, or at least Tibby wants to get them back together. Um, but things are going on. It's a really sad book, and I cried. Yeah, it's a sad but wonderful ending to a series, but because it ends on kind of a happy note, so that's a good thing. But the things that are happening in this book are really sad, so it broke my heart. And the series is over now. It's weird. It's always weird to finish a series, but like I said, I really love this, and I can't really talk about what is happening. Although on the back it says you can read it as a standalone as well, but believe me, just read the whole series and you will fall in love with it. And yeah, I gave it 5 stars. Then I read Friend Request by Laura Marshall, and this book is about Louise that gets a friend request on Facebook from Maria, but she's dead, isn't she? So yeah, a really slow burning thriller, and you really want to know what actually happened back in the days, what happened to Maria, and yeah, you want to know the truth. You want to know who is sending all those messages to Louise, and yeah, it really intrigued me, and it was so good. Although it's a slow burning one, so if you want to have a lot of action, this book is definitely not for you. I also have to say that the ending felt a little bit rushed, but overall I gave it 4 stars, so yeah, I really loved this thriller. Then I read Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone for the reading rush. That was the only book that I managed to read in that week, which felt a bit sad, but oh well. I thought that it was finally time to read the first part of Harry Potter because I never did, and everyone kept telling me that I should read that, and so I did. But well, I liked it, but I don't love it as much as everyone else seems to do, so I am not sure if I will continue the series. Maybe I will, but for now I am not doing it because I have so much to read. I have so many books on my own shelves that I want to read. I have so many books at the library that I want to read that I am not going to continue Harry Potter for now. I'm not saying that I am never going to pick it up again, but for now I am just leaving it by part 1. Then I have a DNF, and it was Give Me a Call by Sarah Mlinowski. I also started that one for the reading rush, but I kept reading a bit in that book after the reading rush, but I really hated the writing. Yeah, it's about a girl that can call her younger self, so she can tell her not to date the guy that dumped her, basically. So yeah, but the writing wasn't really appealing to me, so I got so annoyed by reading it, so I put it away and I will never pick it up again. I also read 2 Dutch books that aren't translated to English or any other language yet. Maybe it will ever happen, but one of them is a 2019 release, so I don't know. The first one was Theater Popcorn Toy 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 by Monique van der Zande, and that's about a girls only theater. So yeah, it was a fun quick read that I gave 3 stars. And I read The Executie by Danielle Bakhuis, and that was a dystopian novel, and it's about a TV show that was really weird and hefty, and I hope that what happened in that book is never going to happen in real life, because it was so weird and okay, anyway. But it's not translated to English. Maybe it will ever happen. If so, definitely read this book. If you are Dutch, read it, because I want to read all the books of Danielle Bakhuis right now. I gave that book 4 stars, by the way. Then We are going to books that I read in August, and I only managed to read 7, but the quality was really good overall. So let's go to that bit. First of all, I read Shop Objects by Gillian Flynn, and this takes place in a really small town. 2 young girls are murdered in a really horrible way, and the journalist Camille is going back to that town because she grew up there and she wants to find out what happened so she can write about it in the newspaper where she works. And she is going to get to know her half sister. She is a bit weird, but also the bond she is having with her parents is really, really strange. So you are making up all those theories of what has happened, who could have done it, and the ending, though, I really didn't see coming because it was such a good plot twist. So yeah, I really loved this book. I gave it 4 stars, and it's a good debut. So I'm glad I have another book by Gillian Flynn, so I can continue on loving her writing style. But if you haven't read this already, just do it because you think you have figured it all out, but I was wrong. I am normally pretty good in expecting things and having it right, and I didn't figure it out at all. So read this. It's a really good thriller. Then I read The Remarkable Hub by Karen Slaughter. It's a really, really short story about a woman that is going to die and she has the chance to go think about her past and to know the truth about it. And yeah, I didn't like it too much. I struggled a bit through it, but I managed to read it because it was so short. If it was longer, I probably would have DNF'd it because I felt a bit bored. So yeah, it's not that good work that I know from Karen Slaughter. So I gave it 2 stars. Then I read The End of Everything by Megan Abbott, and that's about a 13 years old girl that's disappearing and her best friend wants to find out what happened, and instead of waiting for the police to come up with things, she is finding out the truth and she is hiding evidence from the police. Or on the other side, she is getting stuff to the police by getting help of the father of the girl, which is so weird. I mean, as 13 years old doing those dangerous things, oh my god. Anyway, I really enjoyed that book. I gave it 3 stars. I just found it so weird that a 13 years old is going to investigate this really dangerous thing. So yeah, I don't know. I had a bit of mixed feelings about that book, so I gave it 3 stars. And then we have Puppet by Mo Hader. This is the 6th book in the Jack Caffrey series, and this takes place in a clinic where weird stuff happens and Jack Caffrey is going to find out what is going on. So yeah, but if you want to get involved with the characters and get everything what's happening besides the case, then you should go on and read Birdman first, and all the other books as well in the series, because it's a going on stories with the main characters. So yeah, I liked it. I really liked it, but I was hoping it would be a 5-star, but it wasn't for me. I gave it a 4 stars in the end, but I'm sure it is a weaker book in the series, at least for me. So yeah, that's a personal thing, I guess. But I ended up really, really liking it. So I don't see the problem at all. Well, I'm kind of hoping that I will end the series with a 5-star again because I only have one book left of the series. So we'll see. But at least this got 4 stars, so that's not too bad. And I read some Dutch books as well in August, and that were De Leegstad by Simone van der Vlucht. That is a book about a bombardment in Rotterdam. So yeah, it was really, really intriguing to get the story from that side, although it was fictional, but Simone did a lot of research, so yeah, you could really see that in that book that she did a lot of research for that. And that's why I ended up really, really liking it. I gave it 4 stars, so I want to have that book on my shelf. So hopefully, I will find it somewhere secondhand one day. I also read Whisper by Isabel Betty, and that's a book that is originally written in German, but I couldn't find an English copy of it, so I'm not sure if it's translated into English or not. But it's about a house with a past. Noah is going to use a Ouija board to just for fun, but she ended up getting contact with someone that says it's murdered in that house 30 years ago, and she wants to find out what really happened, and that's not without any danger. So yeah, I was really surprised by this book. It's a YA, by the way, um, and I just picked it up on a whim, and I was like, okay, just trying it. We'll see how that goes. And I ended up really liking it. So that was a fun read. Yeah, I gave it 4 stars, and I'm really happy that I just discovered this book. And last but not least, I read De Ontvoering by Marion Pauw. I used this as my shortest read for the thriller fun, and it's only 46 pages. And it came with a magazine that she was writing columns for called Flair. And yeah, it's a quick fun read about a kidnapping of a baby. And I gave it 3 stars because it wasn't anything special, but I enjoyed it, so 3 stars. That were all of the books that I read in July and August, and I hope you liked this video. If so, give it a big thumbs up. Let me know what you read in July and August. If you have any favorites that you would recommend to me, let me know. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new and want to see more bookish videos from me, and I will see you soon. Bye!